What's up, everybody? It's your girl Erica from the Classic Climb blog. Sorry for the car angle. I am just leaving lunch, but I had to do this video because we just talked about it and how basically everybody's like, Erica, have you seen Ty Lopez, his credit whiz, this 20-year-old kid with $3 million in credit cards? I have, everybody. I've watched it. Thank you for the messages. Thank you for the questions. Let's chop it up. Let's get into it. The clear factor here that many people are missing is I am from a military background family in military towns. And I can promise you, not less than 7 of my friends had parents who had small businesses or a flea market weekend business or sold some stuff on eBay and put their kid on, their half Asian kid, military kid, on as an authorized user. Okay? When they're 17, 18, don't tell the kid. Kid goes to college, East Carolina. You can look that place up. It's in North Carolina. And 18, 19, 20 years old, those kids are getting $20,000 American Express cards in the mail. Those kids are getting, $30,000 Visa credit cards in the mail. Why? Because their parent still has them as authorized user, still actively using the credit card, still, rolling through the business, okay? Rolling through the business. Business may not look very flashy. Flea market businesses don't look super exciting, but a lot of people are making $50,000 to $80,000 a year common if they're really putting in the work and they're really selling big ticket items. All right. So with that being said, you are not this kid. You are not 20 years old. Your parents haven't had you on as an authorized user on a credit card for 3, 4, 5 years. That has not been your life story, okay? You're an adult, probably a working adult, and you've made some mistakes, possibly. And you say, Erica, I still want to get $3 million in credit cards. Well, let me make it very clear. You've got to be making the income somewhere, because the math doesn't add up. Even if you got an 800 credit score, and you can go on my channel and see where I've had several people come to me, they have 800 credit scores, 750s, 730s, and still getting denied for credit cards. Why? Low income. They're close to their balance maxes somewhere, somewhere, somehow, that the math is not there. You can't make $20,000 a year and expect $100,000 credit cards. I don't care who you are. I don't care what story you told me. I don't care what credit company promised you that. It's not true. I can look you dead in the eyes. It's not true. And many people are sitting here going, Erica, but Ty Lopez said it. Okay, well, I'm sorry. I'm really, really sorry. I don't know what you want me to tell you, but after looking over 700 or so different applications for various credits, I can tell you, no, that's not happening. Now, is there a difference when I filed $50,000 for my business one year and $90,000 for another year? Heck yeah, that mailbox was flooded. Why? Because $90,000 of income, even though you're like, that's not impressive, not many Americans have that. Maybe 8%, 8 to 10%. We can pull this up in the blog or whatever, but it's close to 10%. Or less. You know what I mean? Kevin Homer, I know the truth as you tell it. Joseph Simmons, man, if we can get those Falcons to the Super Bowl, that'd be crazy. So, but the key here is that's just, we can go video through video, and really, if we sat those people off to the side, behind the scenes, and said, hey, tell me the real story. Well, my parents had me on this thing for a long time. And a lot of friends, people I knew loosely, they weren't my friends, I was like, this kid's worked for himself since he left East Carolina. How is that possible? And the kid literally has a little storefront, and he would just, a little bit of storefront, and then a big back part of the office where he was just shipping things through eBay and Amazon way back in the day. He'd been doing eBay and Craigslist forever. That was the bulk of his business. So yeah, he worked for himself because he had this storefront, he had a credit card, he had this authorized user from his parents for all those years. So that when he goes and gets a credit card, there are a lot of people living off credit, and that's going to come to the end when the recession hits. I don't want you living off credit. I want you to know how to go get it. I want you to have the income level to support it, because you can go on Quoba and many of these forums right now, and so many people are saying, oh my God, I got 40 credit cards. How do I close some of these accounts? How do I get rid of them because I can only make the minimum payments? What has happened is they have got the credit from a nice shiny score and probably a job that pays very well. But guess what? If that job only pays $80,000 a year and you're sitting there with 40 credit cards, you use a couple of them for trips, vacations, or whatnot, you will quickly get behind. That is why when you see those real estate flippers who using credit cards and it falls down all of a sudden, house of cards on them, and people can't understand why the flipper lost everything all of a sudden, they were leveraged to the ceiling. You have to be very careful, people. You have to be very careful. Now, I don't want to discourage you. I don't want you to be like, well, Erica, I really wanted some credit cards. There's nothing wrong with wanting that, but what is your mission? What is your goal? What is your purpose? That's very dangerous, okay? That's very dangerous. Herbert Scott, I only have 2 cards, not over 6 figures income though, working on that. A lot of people will say, well, Erica, I make $50 a year. That's good. I'm just telling you the math on half of America makes 50. Their household income. So I was in a household income, getting ready to move to my new place. I was in a household income where together I could say our household income is $300,000 because I'm counting everybody's money in the house. You could do that, but that would be very dangerous. Very dangerous. So, I mean, I'm just saying you can write down that you make all this income, but you gotta be careful how you go about it. Alvin Hollinger, credit is like dating a bipolar chick. Can go from awesome to awesome. Sorry. It can go from awesome to awful fast. I agree. Alvin, that was very funny. So, but that's just a part of that thing people are not acknowledging, and they refuse to acknowledge. With my own eyes. Like, I'm not telling you something that I heard, possibly, like, no, straight up me seeing their parents put them on as authorized users and then go, oh yeah, literally me and my friend went and got to see if we could get approved for a house when we were like right out of college. And the girl goes, who the hell gave you a $100,000 American Express card? And she looked and she was confused. She was like, oh, I don't have an American Express card. The lady looks and shows her. She's like, oh, authorized user. Your parents put you on. I see why your credit's so good. People don't realize that's, like, she didn't even know. Her parent didn't even tell her. Okay? So you're talking about a level that you guys are not even at. You know, Kevin Homer, have to clean up personal credit and generate revenue in business to get more credit lines. Bottom line right now, when I tell you guys about going and opening business bank accounts, I'm not doing it for you to be like, well, Erica, they're not giving me a loan. Well, I'm going to go now. You have to open the door, because what will happen is many of you will be like, I've been hustling for 5, 6, 7, 8 years. They go to the bank and the bank goes, oh, where are your tax returns for 5, 6, 7, 8 years? Where are all these income streams for 5, 6, 7, 8 years? And 9 times out of 10, people haven't filed taxes on them. Or if they did file taxes, they filed for a loss. If they haven't filed for a loss, that, you know, there's like 9, 10, 11, 12 different things they've done. All the steps, I can tell you, they didn't do the right steps. They didn't have the business bank account, because like you could be selling things on eBay for 5 years. This year you go open a business bank account and you go apply for a loan saying, hey, I've had eBay business for 5 years. Okay, how long your bank account been open? This year, year 1 in their books. Because that means you've been commingling the money all the time and they can't count that money. That's sole proprietor money. So when I say these things about getting business bank accounts and actually putting money in them, actually depositing money into them, I'm not just telling y'all that just, you know, for shits and giggles. I'm like being really serious. I've seen people with high income earners. He's making 100,000, wife making 80,000. They've been making money on the side but not reporting it. And so yeah, they may live like they make 250, but they can't prove it. And it doesn't take a lot to prove it. You know what I mean? I can put it to you this way. I have one friend, all he does is sell things via, you have to pay him through PayPal and Craigslist, and he has like little RVs on the side of the road and little the 4-wheelers. He fixes stuff and puts them on the side of the road. But all his money goes through PayPal. So when he went to the bank, because he had a hiccup, one of his cars didn't sell and it cost him a lot of money. It was a salvage car. He got business lines of credit like that because they were like, oh, there's documentation. There's proof. Look at these PayPal receipts. There's money coming in for years. You're not just some drug dealer pretending to have a business. Do you know what I'm saying, you guys? I mean, I hope you guys are feeling what I'm going with this. But even if you are, and when I talk about getting the income up, like let's say I talk about app driving, I talk about Uber and Lyft and all these people driving. Sorry about the connection today. I apologize. I'm just leaving lunch and phone's acting up. But when I talk about driving Uber, Lyft, and all these things, I'm talking about driving 40, 50, 60 hours. A lot of you are like, oh my God, Erica, 40, 50, 60 hours? half of you are in between jobs or part-time income, or, you know, you're like, why should I drive that much? I want to spend more time at home doing A, B, and C, thinking, journaling. When you are truly pushing it, and there's some of you, I'm very proud of you. You've sent me emails and you sent me screenshots of your DoorDashes and all that stuff. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. I'll figure out a way to incorporate them, whether I put them in a book or put them somewhere. I'm going to share them for people. When you show me that you're pulling in $700 extra in a week, DoorDashing, Uber Lyfts, Uber Eats, all that stuff like that, you're solving 90% of your problems. Because many of you, when you're like, I'm getting bank late draft fees, I'm getting high interest on my credit card, I'm getting a higher interest on my car because I'm not making my payments on time. When you just put in an extra $500 worth of work and money just in your account, a lot of those fees don't happen. A lot of those overdrafts don't happen. A lot of those problems with you not being able to pay bills on time does not happen. Right? You know? And some people would go, Erica, but that's just the truth. You have to get the income up. Now, even if you say, Erica, I find things on Let Go. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about, but there's an app called Let Go. And sometimes you're in a nicer neighborhood and there's nice stuff being let go for cheap. You get it, you clean it up, you brush it up, you paint it, whatever you got to do to it. Turn around and put it back on Let Go for higher. I've seen people in my neighborhood do that. Trust me, I've seen it. The whole vintage thing, I saw a guy pull some junk out of a house. Straight junk. He cleaned up a little bit. I mean, I thought the wood was falling apart, and somebody was like, that's a vintage headboard from the 1930s. I'm like, really? This shit looks like it's somebody's grandpa's old bed that's falling apart. But he made a lot of money. So it doesn't always have to be the driving apps, but get in where you fit in. Find some way to bring that income up, okay? Because that extra $500, even if you just do it, there's just 1 week a month that you're really driving hard for DoorDash, you're going to be like, man, that extra income helped us out. But in order to do that, you got to be tracking as well. You got to be able to print out a bank statement and go, this is what I'm spending every month. This is where all the money goes. This is where all the bills go. So, you know, I hope that's helpful for you guys. I hope you understand that, because it's really a twofold. In order to get the credit, in order to get business lines of credit, they'll go in the bank and be like, hey, I need $5,000 in equipment funds for my business. I know a friend, he's a DJ. You know, it's like, DJ equipment. I don't think it costs that much, but he can still go ask for it because he's doing marketing and different things. So let me look at some of the stuff you guys are saying. Kevin Holder, a superstar, great info. Herbert Scott, facts, I would do Uber 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. daily. Woo, that's a tough time. Kevin, I understand all those Uber and Lyft strategies are about generating revenue. Alvin, well, see, even on the flip side, Kevin, if you can treat it like there's a guy here in Central Texas, near Austin, near me. You can look him up. He's like a simple driver or something like that. People keep calling him a sellout and all that stuff. But he talks about treating Uber as a business or treating Uber as a job. And there are Uber drivers making $10K a month. But it's not from driving all day and night. Yes, there's some Uber drivers I know personally who are making $1,200, $1,300 a week. But they also are referring like nonstop. They're like making videos. They have a little blog. They give their card out. You know, then they're at happy hours. They tell other guys, hey man, you should totally drive. Hey, here's a referral card. You know, there's multiple ways they're doing it. And eventually some of them are trying to go Uber fleet. So there's ways to treat things like a job, and there's ways to treat things like a business. And many of you are like, well, Erica, I like my job. Well, stay at your job, baby. I don't want you to leave. If you like your job, then go get a job recruiter and see if you can get up higher pay or raise something. But in the meantime, if you're working on a side thing, it's a great opportunities for side things out there. So Alvin Holler, every 6 months or so I ask for credit line increases in other lines. Exactly. I mean, if you want to be honest, you can do it every 90 days. I know a person with an 800 credit score, and that chick is at maybe $350,000 in business lines of credit from her bank. She can go in there and keep asking. It ain't gonna give her no big dings. It's just different levels. Superstar, I'm new here. Do you have a website? I do. It is classyscl.com. classyscl.com. It is the blog. It has different articles. It has courses on there. You can go check everything out from there. And always the links will be below after the video renders. Share the videos if they're helpful for you or helpful for your friends. All right, Herbert Scott. Let's see what he's had to say. I'm going to read some of your stuff today. I was so broke during the last real estate class. This next one, though, I'm going to be more than prepared. I'm going to get prepped for 10 years. So here's the thing I love telling people. Everybody's like, yeah, I'm going to wait till the real estate crash and I'm going to get all the stuff. If you're not getting in the know with those people now, because we're already going into the real estate recession. That's why I made that video yesterday about less wholesalers making content, because they're scrambling right now. The inventory's tight and they're running around like, holy crap, Erica, I'm about to pee my pants, running low on inventory. I personally know flippers who are stuck right now with 5 houses. They all done. They're all cleaned up. They're all shiny. Can't sell them. They're going to have to take a loss on at least one of them so they can get their money back out and keep moving. See, that's what people don't tell you on that flip side of that flipping stuff, but that's a whole nother show. The key here is getting in the know in some of those RIA groups, getting in the know in some of those people that you see that are flippers, calling some of those numbers, calling some of the numbers you have that you see. Like, let's say you drive by and you see the sign, I'm looking for a real estate investor apprentice, or I have a house, for sale, or even go on Craigslist and you see people saying they have an investment property. Start talking to those people, because not only do they have some people, there's more people around them, right? You need a Rolodex, at least 5 to 6 people who are seriously daily making moves, making calls. Like I told you on the previous video, I have about 5 to 10, but mostly just the 5 I check all the time, email list I'm on, because they have like properties that are like 40,000, 60,000. They're in North Carolina, South Carolina, one's in Texas near Killeen, and they have properties that they need to move. Right? They got their name on them, but they ain't got enough money to flip them and do all the other stuff. But they can get them to you as a rental, right? Like, hey, I can probably even do the work. There's one guy I know, he can get in there and fix it. But when you're tight on cash, when you don't be a seller and don't make a long-term plan, you just got to get in and get money. So, anyways, but yeah, get in there, get in the know people now, so that when their times get tight, like it's getting right now, like on my email list, some of those deals aren't as shiny, that I could negotiate a little bit better. I go, well, hey man, I ain't gonna pay you $57,000 for that house. I'll pay you $50,000. I'll pay you $47,000. Maybe I'll partner with you. You got to figure out how you got to get in there now so that you have that leverage. Need to get on board. Anthony, can you open a business bank account at any bank without having an EIN? No. Just no. Just go to irs.gov. For free, completely free. It costs you $0. An egg, $0. No money. EIN. Now, here's the key. Listen to this. From 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Why that time? Because if you go after that time, like 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock at night, it might take them a week to 2 weeks to send it to you in the mail. But if you go 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you will get a number. You'll type in your name. You'll type in your address. You'll type in your info, and they will, boom, create you an EIN number right then and there. And you can take that in any bank and have a great day. Okay, thank you. Yes, Joseph Siddons, that's possible. Do you know what you're doing, though? Just spoke with a broker friend today. Told me a lot of rookie investors in the game overpaying. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, right now, like I told you, I looked at those emails, and I'll look at a deal, and I go, that's too high. I quickly go do comps of the area. What's the taxes on that house? That seems a little high. I wait. 2 weeks later, that person email me in the group email, MailChimp, of course. That same deal, yeah, it's too high. It's too high. Now, here's the difference about that, Alvin Hollinger, people overpaying. If you got a rental property in Houston, then you could get away with overpaying, because you have renters who, they want the area. People just can't rent a house for $1,200 to $1,700. That's in great neighborhoods. Key phrase, great neighborhoods with great schools. And when they get in those properties, they don't get out of them, period. They stay there for years. So is it okay if you are overpaying a little bit, 10 grand, 20 grand? Yeah, but that's if you plan to long-term hold. I'm talking about you're holding this property for 10 years. They gotta beat you up to get you out of this property. pickle jar. I can't, Kevin. I can't. Actually start expanding my lines every 3 months. I mean, it's kind of the standard. There's a couple groups I'm in, investor groups, and they just all call each other, or they put a post out, hey, we're all gonna ask for an increase from Wells Fargo, and then give feedback if it went good for a bulk of the members, right? And so if a lot of people say no, they're not giving an increase. I don't know what happened. If you're hearing from 80 people that say that, then might be tight to make short. But the key of the matter is the real truth. This who has business, not even a big one. I mean, I know some black ladies who do side of the teacher gig. What can you do right now? What is something you guys can all do to help yourself? Is at least have a business bank account. At least be working on that personal credit. 3 to 6 lines that are healthy, reporting, no lates, no bump marks. But how do you get there? A lot of people say, well, Erica, I'm trying. I can't get there. You do the route circle of this whole equation. If you get your income up, even if you just get an extra $500 up, right? That extra $500 lets you pay down on your credit card, right? At the end of the day, your income. Because for some of you, if you went out and let's say you drove 40, 50 hours for the next month and put extra 3 to 5.5 grand in your pocket, now you're from a position of a little bit more strength. As long as you're like, hey, that car, let's pay that car off. Of that car. Don't go, but just pay that off, right? Or that extra car we have in the yard, let's rent it out on Torino.com. Let's get some money for it. The key here is having something to sell and making sales, right? Because if all you have is your time to sell, then you're driving, baby. You're driving, you're working on another job, you're doing something to make, because that's all you got right now is to sell your time. Okay, does that make sense? Now, when you get enough money or tokens, I like saying tokens when I'm on the phone with some of my clients. When you get enough tokens to make token moves, then you can. Right? A lot of people, when I start talking about, well, I own 100 shares of this or 200 shares of this particular stock, this lady was like, that's $13,000. I could just buy a rental property. Boo-boo. That's if you got a lump sum. And I know you ain't got a lump sum. So how do you get a lump sum? Being honest. I put money away every week for that stock. Every week. Keep buying that particular stock. And guess what? When times like this comes, and I've got like 10 grand in one stock, I can go, you know what I can do? I can sell all my shares. And then I take that lump sum money and do what I please with it. But if you've never put away the $100 every week, forever how long, or $200 here, or $400, or $500, or reinvesting your dividends, and you don't even have a lump sum to pull from, you can't do anything. A lot of people are talking about these scenarios, and you can't do anything. So, would it be nice to have 300, 400? I think the kid has 400 credit cards with 3.2 million on them. And mostly he's getting like $20 million in rewards points to basically travel for free. Sure, that would be lovely. Is that your scenario? Probably not. So, look, let's work on what we can work on, which is growing our business, growing our income, and then worrying about credit. All right, everybody. This is Erica, Classy Climb Blog. You guys have been hilarious today. Thank you for your comments. What was it? Kevin, Alvin, Joseph. Hey, all the people. Herbert Scott. Everybody visiting. Sorry if I forgot your name. I didn't see your name. Thank you for visiting today. You guys keep it real. Have a great day. Oh, sorry. Oh, I'm going to ask just one thing. Kevin Smith says Ty Lopez strikes me as a huckster. So here's the thing. Now, is he a huckster? No, he's a marketing genius. I will say he did have that initial money from dating websites. He made dating websites. And the traffic and the purchasing of those things in a nightclub. So he made the money, and if this makes this, yeah, I have 2 different phones, sorry. 3, actually. Best way to say it like this. Ty Lopez in California had maybe $1 or $2 or $3 million. Was that still a millionaire? Yes, but in California, that's woo. That's woo. That's tight. That's still kind of po in California where he want to live. Now, but if you took that million, and really he probably took 500,000 at first, because I've actually studied case studies of Mike Chang, six-pack abs. But he threw at least 500,000 at first in there, right? And then it just, you know what I mean? So then it just fed, and Google was like, all right, you can think your ad, you're like, damn, calm down, y'all. It's crazy. It's a card combination of the nightclub and the dating websites that yes, he had that money now. But it's because essentially, if you do the math, 109,000 people out of all his subscribers bought his $67 course. And I think it keeps hitting your account first. I don't know what's the fee, but if anybody knows, let me know. And that came out to $9 million. Now he rents out, like you see the kids get in the video with him. They pay him anywhere from $8,000 to $12,000 to be in a video with him per video. Like if you want Ty Lopez to review your book, oh, he'll do it for $8,000, $12,000. If you want Ty Lopez, so he has a whole little office of people that work for him, and all they're doing is milking the brand of Ty Lopez as much as possible. PR firms, getting people to come to the whole mansion, stuff. So it was one of those things that you gotta be aware of, that the beginning of it isn't crazy, it isn't a steamroll, it isn't millions of dollars. Again, Mike Chang, six-pack abs, $7 to $20 a day, and then it started steamrolling. And he's here in Austin. He used to live at the apartment complex I managed, and met him 3 times in person. Super sweet guy. So anyways, you guys, this is Erica, Classic Climb Blog. You guys have been awesome. Thank you for your hilarious commentary. You guys have a great day.